Hey, it's James Nicholson. I hope you guys are well. And in this video, I want to talk to you about whether virtual assistants are good or are they bad for your business. Now, I'm going to assume if you're watching a video like this, you're a coach, consultant, entrepreneur, a business owner, or someone looking to start a business. Am I right? Well, look, if that is you, then this channel is for you guys. So while you're here, very quickly, do smash the subscribe button and hit the bell notification, because every single day I've got new content that will help you take your business to the next level. Now, my name is James Nicholson, and I've been in business for 17 years now. And during that time, I've developed something very, very special, which I call my business accelerator methodology. It's allowed me to take cold leads and turn them into red hot buyers who buy from you again and again and again in a very, very short period of time. Now, that's helped me generate millions in sales, and my mentees, the people that I mentor, have gone on to generate many hundreds of millions in sales in their businesses. So this is just stuff that works. Now, my first business, I used to sell consumer electronics, iPod accessories and gadgets and gizmos. And I had a big team. I had 20 staff in the UK at one point. And what I found was that often, this is going to get me shot in the comments, I know for sure, some of the British team could be quite lazy, right? They'd start at 9, they'd clock off at 5, but in between they'd be looking on various different websites and just really found it hard to keep their attention for that whole period of time. And they were also expensive. So I was looking for other options, and also I couldn't always hire the skills that I needed. I'm in Dorking in Surrey, and so a lot of that skill set that I needed actually prefers to work in London. So I had to look at other options, and I looked for a virtual assistant at the time, and I was just blown away by how good they were. And so we, in that business, we needed to rank on Google for thousands of keywords, things like iPod case, iPhone speaker pink. There was thousands of different keywords that we needed to rank on. And using a British SEO agency was just not cost effective. And in fact, the one that we used, they just couldn't cope with the capacity of the keywords that we needed to rank for. So I had to get some help, right? And so I got a team in India, and that team actually helped leverage our time significantly. And what we found was that they did really, really good. Now, let's look at the bad stuff that happens with virtual assistants first. So the bad stuff that happens generally is some places the culture is just to always please the boss, right? And I've come across this numerous times where you have a deadline for a client and stuff like that, and your assistant will always say, look, yes, we're going to be able to do that. And sometimes you just rather know if there was a problem, right? And then they tell you at the very last minute, hey, look, we're not going to be on time with this, there's a problem. And that's just because they don't want to lose face, right? So they've tried their best to get it done. Whereas if you knew ahead of time, you could have fixed stuff, right? So that's one bad side of having that. You need to manage those expectations with your team and your virtual assistants and get used to that kind of stuff, right? Which happens, and you'll work around that eventually. Another thing is that obviously they're not in your office, right? So you've got different time zones. So I use a lot of teams in Asia, right, which is ahead of us. And so for them, they could be working through the middle of the night just to work on your projects, right? And so that's difficult for them to have a good family lifestyle and stuff like that. But they are also used to that, right? They are also used to that. And so what you must do is make sure that you hire someone on your own time zone, right? Initially, I didn't do that. And that was a bad thing that I did, whereas I just let them work 9 to 5 in their time, which meant that either I had to wake up really early every morning, or I had to set them tasks the night before, right? And so I just find it easier to have someone working on the same time zone as you. Another thing that potentially could be bad is that obviously, if they're from another country, English might not be their first language, and so you might not always have them speaking with your clients. And so that could be something that could be a little difficult to overcome. Now, here's the good things, right? The good things are, I find that when you get a virtual assistant, they are way more committed to the job. right? They just, how I work it is, rather than having a jack of all trades, which I have done in the past, right? Someone that can do customer service and marketing and the graphics. Now I have masters. Right, so I have people that do specific job, people that call people, people that, so all their job is to phone people, right? Then I also have people that do social media. Then I also have people that look after customers. And I also have people as well that will do graphics and stuff like that. And so rather than hiring someone for 40 hours, what you might look at is hiring someone for 10 hours a week. Right? And rather than having one person at 40 hours, have 4 people each doing 10 hours. So it's going to cost you the same money. And then you get someone that's actually an expert at what they do. Right? That works for me a lot better. And that's a good thing of assistants. Now, another good thing is the speed of hire. Right? You can hire an assistant within a few hours. Whereas in the UK, I find it's quite a long, drawn-out process, the hiring of staff. Right? It might take weeks sometimes or months to get CVs in, then you have interviews, first interview, second interviews, maybe a third interview. And so I find that with the job boards for hiring people in India and the Philippines, you can just get people really fast, right? You can get people really fast, and that's going to help you grow your business significantly. So I would have a look at that as an option. So getting an assistant fast is a good thing. And often I've had projects and maybe someone else has left and then you need someone quite quick to replace them. So that's a really good positive on that one. Another one is obviously the price, right? So the price is around 4 or 5 times cheaper than a British person, probably similar to an American as well. And so that allows you to potentially have a bigger team or reduce your costs. And that's really important as well, right? So that's a good thing is the cost of the person. Now you're paying them a fair wage. Locally, they will be getting a wage that's considerably more than what they would get from a local business as well. So it's a win-win for both of you. So that's important to understand as well, right? Now, another thing is that having assistants, generally I just find that they're a bit more committed, right? So when I've got a graphics expert, they're just going to be faster and they'll just do what you need them to do, right? And I find with the UK market, sometimes it can be difficult sometimes to get staff to do what you need to do. And they, if you pick the right people, they can really run your business really efficiently for you. So the good and the bad, I think the good far weighs out the bad, and I think that every single business here should have an assistant. You see, what I find is a lot of businesses procrastinate. When you get an assistant, it just makes you get stuff done, right? It makes you more efficient, you're more streamlined, you're just gonna get stuff done in your business, and that's an important step to taking your business to the next level, right? And so, look, I'm gonna put a guide together on hiring virtual assistants and stuff like that. So in the description, the guide will be there. So go and grab that guide and check us out. And I'm also going to put a coaching program for this for £1, right? So I'm going to put it in my Business Growth Club. So in the description, there'll be a link so you can join the Business Growth Club for just £1 today. And that will include the program on how to hire staff in the Philippines, right? So there's no shenanigans or anything. It's a £1 trial. If you don't want to carry on, then you cancel at any time, right? So go and check the Business Growth Club out and go and grab the guide. Give me a like on the video. Let me know your thoughts. Have you hired someone and had a bad experience? Have you had a good experience? Do comment below and let me know. And I'll see you guys very soon. Bye for now.